All right, so results are starting to come in right now for a number of the elections being held today. We're looking at elections for Amy McGrath versus Charles Booker. We're looking at elections for AOC. We're looking at elections for Jamaal Bowman. And there are a few other really important areas, other important races to be looking at, but those seem to be the main races that we are looking at right now. And it is really exciting to see some of the results pouring in. Right now, it looks like Jamaal Bowman is ahead of Elliot Engel. Headliner. Chris, what's your take on this? I mean, I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, it's exciting to see. I mean, Angle is someone who I'll admit, I didn't really know who he was 5 or 6 weeks
Hmm.
ago, and then he kind of hit the news with a number of different stories, all of which were just
All of it's were
disasters,
bad,
right?
yeah.
All were bad between the AOC and Hillary Clinton and him getting caught on the hot mic. I mean, this was all stuff that went the opposite of the way he would like it to go, and it
Yeah.
just looked bad. And then it makes it that much easier to get behind someone like Bowman, who you want to see do well anyways. But then on top of that, you definitely want to see him beat Angle.
Yeah.
So this is great that this is the appears to be the outcome.
Yeah, I will say Elliot Engel has managed to portray himself as just completely unlikable in the past few weeks. Literally, guys, remember the hot mic. Hot mic. If I didn't have a primary, I wouldn't care. He was caught saying that. Those words came out of that man's mouth, out of Elliot Engel's mouth. I feel like no matter what your political ideology is, you're going to hear that and be like, "Oh, that guy's got to go. Let's go. Get out of here, man. We can't have you sitting around here." I mean, who says stuff like that? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's insane. I mean, it's just like, you got to go, dude. I could have people who I agree with saying stuff like that. I'm like, "All right, dude, you got to go, man. You got to go.
Right.
F you. You're done for. You're done for." Now, I will say Elliot Engel is someone personally I have heard of him for quite a while, and I've consistently not liked him because he's just one of those Democrats who says he agrees with you. Like, because here's the thing, look, man, look, when it comes to this, Chris, like, my view on it is I'm completely on board. Like, look, if you disagree with me and you're more to the center, that's fine. But if you tell me that you're like, "Oh, I'm really to the left, but then actually this is all we can do," like, "Oh, look at this piecemeal policy," that's the stuff that really starts to piss me off. That's the stuff where I'm like, "All right, dude, just shut up, man. Tell me what you actually think. Don't lie to me." And that's the kind of guy that Elliot Engel always was. So that's the kind of guy that I want to see get kicked out of office. So you can see here the results right now. Elliot Engel only at 35%, and Jamaal Bowman at 62%. Now, I will say you can also see here less than 1% reporting. So we have no idea what's actually going to happen. I want to clarify that right away, right off the gate. But it does look optimistic, does look exciting, and this wouldn't be particularly surprising. You'll remember we saw endorsements from the New York Times, we saw endorsements for AOC, we saw endorsements from Bernie Sanders, we saw endorsements from Elizabeth Warren and Katie Porter. I mean, we saw endorsements from all over the place to Jamaal Bowman to take out the establishment, high-ranking establishment figure in Elliot Engel. And of course, though, there was, as you mentioned there with Hillary Clinton, there was that last minute coalescing of the establishment. For a long time, for a long time there, Chris, Chuck Schumer wasn't even endorsing him because he saw the hot mic. He was like, "I got to run away from this, man. I got to run away from this." But then he started thinking to himself, "Okay, I actually do need to back Elliot Engel." And we actually, and then we saw the Clinton endorsement, which, as you mentioned there, was a complete fail.
Yeah, and then we got other results coming in. We got the
Yeah.
McGrath situation, which is definitely a conundrum to me when someone, I don't get this idea of
Yeah.
a pro-Trump Democrat. It seems to me like those are not the
Yeah.
same thing. I don't
So-
even know how could such a thing exist. But
Yeah.
it'd be good to see McConnell go down one way or another, but I don't know that I want him replaced with someone who's pro-Trump.
Who's apparently more pro-Trump than Mitch McConnell, according to what Amy McGrath says. So you can see here right now it does look like Amy McGrath is going to pull it out over progressive challenger Charles Booker. Again, night is young, 50% reporting, so it could still change, We're going to have to see. There was talks about a lot of voter suppression going around, but then there was other reporting saying that it really wasn't all that bad. We're going to have to wait and see, what, just aftermath and what kind of voter suppression did or did not occur with this whole thing. So it's disappointing to see Charles Booker losing. Nonetheless, I want to point out this is still optimistic to see, numbers like that from Charles Booker, in the sense that Charles Booker was really a kind of last minute insurgent because we weren't really hearing about him until just a few weeks ago, or at least a lot of people weren't, a lot of progressives weren't. But then Charles Booker really started to make the news with a lot of viral clips, getting a number of major endorsements. And people really started to fall in line, or not fall in line, but people started to really get behind him, including a lot of people in the state Senate and a lot of people in Kentucky, representatives in Kentucky being like, actually, Charles Booker, that's my guy. I'm not here backing a pro-Trump Democrat because, Chuck Schumer said that's the way to go.
Yeah, yeah, and I wish the Booker had done better. It's nice to see him. Well, I mean, Booker's an individual. You can kind of get behind what they're saying, Booker clearly believes in something, right? There's some substance there. With McGrath, it's like I'm not really
What does
sure
she believe
where
in?
she's coming from. I mean, she a lot of what I saw was, really touting her military career, which is fine. But I feel like for a politician, you should have stuff beyond the military career as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Amy McGrath really believes in besides Amy McGrath wants to be in the Senate or wants to be in Congress. I mean, she was previously, you'll remember, Chris, last time around when she lost her congressional run in, by the way, a very, very winnable seat, last time around, she was talking about how Brett Kavanaugh needs to go, how terrible Brett Kavanaugh. She flip-flopped on Brett Kavanaugh. One of the first things she does as soon as she starts running. Also, she was caught on, I think it was either a hot mic or some kind of transcript, basically saying something along the lines of, to wealthy donors, actually, I'm more left than I portray myself to be. First of all, yeah, we probably already knew that, but the fact you would say something like that tells me either you're lying to the donors or you're lying to the voters. So I don't like that. I don't like that kind of stuff, and it's disgusting, and it's really, really nasty. Look, I've said before, and you were just saying there, Chris. You were saying there too, Chris, that I don't like Mitch McConnell at all. Mitch McConnell, in my opinion, is probably the most dangerous, the worst person in politics. I think far and away he's way worse than Donald Trump, in my opinion. I would vote for probably a turtle over Mitch McConnell. But then we're talking about Amy McGrath. I don't know. I don't know. It starts getting questionable. Because you're starting to tell me you're more pro Donald Trump than Mitch McConnell. Because, guys, this is her argument. Her argument is, hold on, we've got to get Mitch McConnell out of office because Mitch McConnell is obstructing Donald Trump. Boop, 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 boop. I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? So, other major race going on right now. You can see AOC looks like she pulled it away and won. Not particularly surprising, although only a few percentages reporting. So we're going to have to see. Night is still young. Results pending. We'll have to see how things really change up. Chris, any final thoughts?
No, I just we'll see if these results hold up, and it's a lot of these went the way I would have liked. Of course, I would have rather seen Booker pull ahead there, but you can't win them all, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you can't win them all. Nonetheless, it does show that there is a progressive movement in Kentucky which is viable. In Kentucky, it is viable. The fact that local state representatives were saying, I am going with Charles Booker over the Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Clinton-backed candidate, that's sort of the Democratic establishment coming from the outside into Kentucky, but Kentuckians themselves, the representatives of Kentucky, saying that's the guy I'm going with. It gives me hope for the future. It gives me a little bit to look forward to. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you head over and check out Chris's channel. It's Political Perspective. He's got some fascinating stuff going on right now. Again, guys, the thumbnails, man, I'm telling you, the thumbnails. You have to check out the thumbnails on his videos. I'm going to be, interrogating him for secrets for how he makes them so good. You're going to want to go just to look at the thumbnails. All right, see you all in the next one.